When the user tries to create a new restaurant, he may want to add logo of this restaurant or adding an image for the logo. Now let's implement this feature. First of all, I will create a new model called image, and it will be morphable. So we may use this images table for both categories and restaurant, and even for items. I will say PHP artisan make model -m, and the model name will be image here. And now let's add our columns. I will say table morphs imageable and string for URL here. After that, we will run PHP artisan migrate, and the table has been created successfully in our database. And here's the structure: imageable type, imageable ID from morphs, and the URL. After that, we will create the morph relations inside image model. Here I will say function imageable, and it will morph2, return this morph2. Then I will set the return type here, morph2. After that, I will create the relationship inside restaurant model by saying function image and return this morph1 image class or model, and the name must be the function name here, imageable. And also I will add the return type here, must be morph1. And also I will add the logic to our controller. So when we create a new restaurant, it may has image like this. It will be sometimes, and must be an image with maximum size of 2 megabytes. So the value here is in kilobytes. After that, let's try in our Postman. I will dd request validated here and send image key as text. If you want to set it as text, don't focus on it or focus out, and just hover and then select file. After that, select image you want from here. And now let's try. We have the dd and we have our image here. This image will be public, so anyone can see it, and then we need to save it using the public disk, right? And firstly, we need to create the storage link or symlink for syncing file using PHP artisan storage link. I already had it, right? So inside our public folder here, we have storage folder also, which will sync the data that will be uploaded. So I will say here save, which is the same validated keys, and I will say only or except exclude the image key, and I will say if the request has file with key image, I will first upload the image, request file image, and I will say store publicly inside restaurants folder with option disk. Select the public disk, right? Because it will be public. After that, from the relationship image here, we will save it. I would say restaurant image create with the URL here, our URL. I will set the URL here, and then our image class, I will define the fillable, which will be URL. Now let's try again from Postman. send a request, and success operation, restaurant created. And now let's select the image. We have also here the URL restaurants slash this image here, and also inside our storage folder we have it inside app public slash restaurants, and auto-generated name here, this image, and also it's synced inside public folder storage restaurants, and we can access it publicly. We can say PHP artisan tinker and asset storage slash this value here, this path, and we have it successfully. Don't forget, by the way, inside .m file the domain may be changeable, so I changed it. Actually I will use the port 8000, or let's remove it, let's keep it as localhost. Now let's access it from the browser here, but I will set the port 8000. You can get the port from here, which after running PHP artisan serve you can see 8000 here, or the numbers that you have. Now let's try to access it, and we can access it easily, right? So now we have uploaded an image. What if we want to change this image? I will create a new endpoint, separated one. I will say change image, and I will generate a new form request by saying artisan PHP artisan make request with change image request. We have already have it. Okay, change image request, and actually I wrote it before. And here in the authorization I want to make sure that the root binding parameter of restaurant user ID must be the current user ID, and here as a second parameter I will say change, first of all, change image request first parameter, and restaurant here, restaurant, and I will check if the current restaurant has image. I will first remove it and replace it. So I will say restaurant image URL null safety here because maybe null, and if has image, then from storage using public disk, public delete the image, right? And then restaurant image update the URL here, URL request, or also we need to save the image. I will copy the code from here and save the URL, right? And then return success operation. Now let's create our endpoint, and by the way, the image here inside the change request must be required. Then inside our API I will say root post restaurant here slash change image using restaurant controller class and change image method here. Now let's try it, create or actually duplicate this endpoint using post, and here using restaurant ID, which ID is this? Restaurant ID number 16 here slash change image. Now let's send the request unauthenticated. Let's use a token from here. I will say change image, and authorization will be per token, and use the current token. The image field is required, so we must provide an image using form data here, file, and select an image. I will select this image here, and I will say image key, and now it's success operation. Back and check, refresh, URL has been changed. Let's open it in the browser here, uploaded successfully, and let's check if all the image has been deleted or not. Yes, it's right, we only have one image in both public and storage folder. So here it's under our storage folder, and public also because they are simple link. We can also implement delete image endpoint by using the same here. We can say directly delete image from here, delete image, and use request directly, right? And again, I will check if there is an image, we will delete it, and also I will say here delete, right, instead of update, and we will return success operation. Let's create an endpoint for it with the same, but I will change the method name, and I will say delete here, and using delete also. Let's duplicate this endpoint using delete image here, and use delete method, and here also delete. Back and see. Now let's test. Unauthenticated. I need to login with our token. Success operation. Check our database. Image has been deleted. Check our file system or folders. Also, there is no images inside restaurants folder, right? And because we may use these methods for other modules, we must avoid the code duplication. And now let's create a trait for these methods here: delete image, change, and upload image. So I will clean our code here using a trait, traits slash image uploader.php, and let's create PHP here, generate our namespace, and I will say trait image. Let's copy the name here, image uploader, and I will refactor firstly the change image method here. Let's copy and paste it here, and instead of request here, I will say it must be eloquent model, right, with any model, and instead of restaurants here, I will say model, again here model, and also I will specify the path string path here, and use the path. I will call the storage also here, and for request file I will say uploaded file, and use file as a parameter. And instead of this, because as you can see here, let's use request to show you which data type is returned. As we can see here, it returns an uploaded file here, this one, this method, this file. So I will use it directly as a parameter, and instead of this directly we can say file. Now let's use this trait for change image method. I will say here use image uploader, and instead of this whole logic I will say this change image, and I will select here the model is our restaurant, and our second parameter here was the path of restaurants, then the file upload here, our file request file image, and because of name duplication I will change this method to change logo here. I will also change it in the API, change logo, and now let's test it. I will create a new restaurant with a new image. It's been created, and I will try to change the image here. Now I will show you this image has been created successfully. This one under app restaurants, we have this one, and I want to change it using a new refactored code. we have a small error here inside the image uploader. I will use it directly like this. Back and check again. Operation success. Change our file. Image not deleted. And the reason behind it, I guess we use the wrong ID here for change image. We have created the image for 17. We must add here this one 17. Change and success operation. Back and refresh again. Change it successfully. Back and check. Now we have only 2 files. Let's remove both of them and try again. Change it. Refresh. Now we must have only 1 image. Right? Works correctly. But what if, for example, when the user creates a new restaurant without passing image here, without adding image, he just wants to create name, created, right? Now we have a new restaurant. Let's see, the last ID is 18, and we need to change or add image here for ID 18. Now let's check 18 and add image for the last created one. Here, for example, it's a success operation, right? Saved in our folders, but didn't saved in the database. So we need to use update or create for change. I will say update or create. And now let's try again. Success operation, open our database and refresh, and the image has been updated successfully or created if not exist. Let's do the same thing or refactoring the same for deleting. Let's add controller here. Copy this and paste it in the thread. And I will say also model must be model eloquent, and I will use model also here, and I will rename it to logo. Then we will also remove the response from here and refactor this part completely using this delete image with restaurant model, this model, and I will rename delete logo, and I will remove it for ID 17. Success operation, back and check, we have it, refresh, has been deleted successfully. We need also to add a check here for making sure that the current authenticated user is the same of the restaurant owner, this one, and also like we added here, and now works correctly. Now let's check if we can refactor the upload. Also we can copy or take this part and create a function in the thread, upload image with this logic for again uploaded file, and we will attach a model also using a model, and instead of request file completely use the file parameter and use the model. Now let's clean it. I will say this upload image using request file image and restaurant model. Let's check it again. Create new restaurant with an image ID 19. Check our database and we have 19. Let's change its image from this one here because this is the last up to this one here, PM, this one, and I will replace it with other image. Change using this one, must be changed. Now we faced another problem which creates, and inside the change method here, back and remove it again, and inside this I will add a parameter for update or create. ID will be image ID here like this, and I will fix it also to be image URL or if image, actually if there is an image is not empty, because it will return a collection. Now let's check again. Okay, let's remove it. Success operation, change it successfully, right? Back to our code. It's okay. We don't have the Laravel logo image. Let's remove it using 19. Success operation, check, delete it successfully. Back and check, or create a new one again. Success. Try to change it. Success also. In our folders, no extra image. Let's make sure and delete again. Will be success anyway. Create or change. Created, and in our folders, only one image. Try to change it again, for example. No extra data, but here we still have 2 images, and the reason behind that, I think inside the image uploader trait we must use or delete image URL. Let's try to change it again. We have 1 image has been added. Now let's try to change again. No extra image added. Delete, create, created with 1 image here. Try to change, no extra. Try to delete, deleted, and no images here, and no images in the database also. That's it. We have created a very reusable trait and refactoring and cleaned our restaurant model. See you next video.